Jinhu, there's a Liu Zhongken in L, who's been too stupid to read too much, who's always closed and hard to communicate with the outside world. On this day, he was reading and suddenly smelled a strange scent in the room. In a moment, there was a jade ring on the dress. In shock, a beautiful woman came in, her gold and silver jewels gorgeous, and her entourage dressed up in the palace. Liu Zhongken was so scared that he fell to the ground. The beauty held him up and said, "How can a man be so arrogant and now so respectful?" Liu Zhongken was even more scared, saying, "Where are you from? I don't know you yet. When have I ever been rude to you?" The beauty laughed and said, "When did you forget? You're not the one sitting down to grind the brick. Order the entourage to lay out the embroidered silk carpet." He had a great dinner, sat him down and drank, talked about the past and the present, and learned a lot. Liu Zhongken, the second monk, can't feel his head, can't answer it. The beauty said, "I only went to a party at Mez. Wang Xiaoqi, you've already lived several dead lives and lost all spirituality. I asked the maid to bring me town water crystal cream and Liu Zhongken to drink it. After drinking it, Liu suddenly felt clear. Soon after, it was dark, and the folks were gone. The candles were set, and the two undressed for joy. It's not sunny, the maids are here again. Pretty girls get up, have no hair, no makeup. It doesn't matter if you tell me, it's just because you're more suspicious," said Liu, a soft-hearted woman who asked her name bitterly. "I am Shenhu, and you are Liu Zhongken. I'm not happy that you committed a crime for me, and I'm meeting you now to repay you a little bit for your obsession with me." Liu asked, "Where is Wei Wendy now?" "Cao Bai was just a bad son of Cao Cao's old thief," said the beauty. "I accidentally followed him from above to below for a few years during a rich career. Things went by and I no longer think about him. Cao Bai has been in hell for a long time because of his father's evil ways, and now he doesn't know what he's doing. But his brother Chosik, who is in charge of the books for the emperor, sometimes sees them. Later, when I saw a dragon car parked in the yard, the pretty girl gave Liu Zhongken a rouge box as a souvenir. I said goodbye and drove to the clouds." Liu Zhongken thought about the article, but thought that the beautiful woman thought of him as an idiot. After a few months, the body began to crumble. His mother is worried for no reason. There was an old maid in the house who suddenly said to him, "Do you miss anyone?" Mr. Liu told the truth when he heard her speak her mind. The maid said, "Sir, you write a letter, I can deliver it. You have such a skill. How come I didn't find it before?" Liu said to his surprise, "I can't forget your benefits. So I wrote a letter and handed it over to her." In the middle of the night, the maid came back and said, "Luckily, I was at the door, and the janitor thought I was a monster and wanted to tie me up. I took out the letter from the master. The doorman took it and asked me to come in. The lady looked at the letter and groaned, saying she could not meet again and wanted to write back. I said, 'My son is not so ill that he can be cured by writing a letter.' My wife mused and put down the pen and said, 'I will send a message to Liu Lang, then I will send a daughter-in-law to Liu Lang.' I told me right away, what I said was a great event of Liu Lang's life. Don't pass it on to anyone, then it will last forever." Liu Zhongken listened and waited happily. The next day, an old woman arrives at his mother's side with a woman so rare in the world. The old woman introduced herself. Her surname is Chen, and, "This is my biological daughter-in-law, Si Xiang, willing to be your daughter-in-law." His mother liked it. She talked about the next offer. The old woman didn't want any bride price until her daughter and Liu Zhongken got married. The only family that knew the girl was not human was Zhongken, who asked her privately, "Who are you, the lady in heaven?" The girl replied, "I am the palace daughter of Cao Chengxiang at Tungqua Terrace." Suspecting that she was a ghost and worried that the couple would not last, she said, "No, my wife and I are both Chinese citizens, and have been punished on account of our faults. Madam has been recalled. I haven't paid my fine yet. Madam told me in heaven that I should stay and serve you. I'll stay or I'll stay with you, Mom, so we're not a temporary couple." One day, a blind woman brought a yellow dog to ask for food and beat the board to sing a little tune. The girl went out to watch, but she was still not standing. The yellow dog broke the rope and bit her. She ran back in fear. The yellow dog had bit her coat. Mr. Liu arrived and beat the dog with a stick, the dog barking furiously and still chewing up the cloth. The blind woman grabbed the hair on the dog's neck and left on a leash. Liu Zhongken came into the house to see his wife. She was still frightened. Liu said, "You're a cactus. Why are you afraid of dogs?" His wife said, "Lang Jun didn't know that the dog was changed by Cao Cao. He was angry that I didn't follow the rule of sharing fragrance." Liu Yiding, who tried to buy the dog and beat it with a stick, disagreed, saying, "God made him a dog. How can I kill him?" For 2 years, anyone who had seen her had fallen in love with her beauty, but asking about her ancestry was always a muddle. Liu asked her son, who could tell his mother a little bit. She was afraid and asked him to remove the woman. Of course, he wouldn't listen. My mother found a magician who could drive the demons, and she came to the courtyard to do it. Just after the position of building the platform was drawn on the ground, the woman knew, and said sadly, "I had hoped to grow old with Lang Zhen, but now my mother suspects that our fate is over. It's not hard for me to leave, but it's not something that can be done with this kind of witchcraft." A bundle of firewood was tied up, a fire was lit and thrown under the steps. The smoke immediately covered the house, and there was no one to see. As soon as the thunder rang, the smoke disappeared and the magician bled to death. "Go inside, the girl's gone, shouting for my maid, and I don't know where to go." "The old maid is probably a fox, mister," Liu told his mother.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.